Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. President Zelensky says Ukraine will do everything to achieve victory a year after Russia's invasion.
І так шануємо покоління, те, яке зараз бореться за Україну. Я прошу вас.
Ceremonies are taking place across Ukraine to mark the occasion, including here in Bucha, where Russian forces have been accused of committing crimes against humanity. Allies around the world lit up landmark monuments in a collective show of support. Paris lit up the Eiffel Tower in blue and yellow, while lights on the iconic Sydney Opera House sails went dark before also turning blue and yellow. The UK's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak led a national minute's silence, while in a letter King Charles condemned Russia's full-scale attack and praised the remarkable courage of the Ukrainian people. There were protests at Russian embassies around the world too. Here, a destroyed Russian tank dumped outside the embassy in Berlin. Protesters using sirens outside residential buildings for Russian embassy staff here in Warsaw. And yesterday in London, protesters poured paint in Ukrainian colours on the road outside Moscow's embassy.
The General Assembly is now voting on draft resolution A/ES11/L7.
The UN passed a resolution late on Thursday evening condemning Russia for starting the conflict, which has become the worst in Europe since World War II. Dramatic body cam footage has been released from an Orange County police officer captured during the arrest of the suspected gunman in a mass shooting in Florida. Officers jumped out to arrest 19-year-old Keith Melvin Moses.
Get on your face!
It's after he is alleged to have opened fire on 2 television journalists reporting on a murder near Orlando on Wednesday, killing one and wounding the other before fatally shooting a 9-year-old girl and wounding her mother in a nearby home. Rescuers have started retrieving the bodies of the 4 victims aboard a light plane that crashed into a volcano in the Philippines. Footage shows wreckage and debris from the crash, as well as rescuers scaling the active volcano. The Cessna 340 aircraft was bound for Manila when it lost contact with air traffic control shortly after leaving the airport. Residents in the coastal regions of Brazil's São Paulo state are still reeling from a heavy rainstorm, which has left at least 50 people dead and forced upwards of 3,500 people out of their homes. Over the past week, flooding and landslides triggered by torrential rain has unleashed chaos on the coastal areas of São Paulo, leaving many roadways filled with debris. Among the worst affected is Sassi village. The heavy downpour affected nearly 800 households in the village, leaving the houses either flattened or damaged, and leaving more than 1,000 people homeless. A monster US winter storm has killed a firefighter, knocked out power to more than 900,000 people, and cancelled or delayed thousands of flights.
Okay.
That's not the way that you want to go down that hill.
No. Oh,
Well, keep going.
Here, a car sliding down a hill in Oregon. The National Weather Service says a broad swathe of the US, from Washington state to New England, is under advisories, with another 18 inches of snow and wind chills equal to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Thousands of flights are either delayed or cancelled, and roads have been left impassable or treacherous to drivers. But snow brings smiles too. Here, a man in Buffalo sliding down an icy street. And 2 jaguar cubs have been born in the Argentinian national park, sparking hope to recover the species in the area. Footage shows the jaguar mum, Tanya, feeding her 2 cubs and resting with them in their den. For the Rewinding Foundation, which specialises in the preservation of endangered species, the birth and survival of these 2 new cubs bolsters the bid to revert back the extinction trend in the area. It is estimated there are only 250 of these animals still living in the wild in Argentina. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.